Hey everybody, Todd here to remind you that we have a growing community over at patreon.com/CodeWritePlay full of listeners who get to recommend show topics, recommend guests, see site content before anyone else. In some cases, they get to pick what site content is about. If those kind of things interest you, you can check us out at patreon.com/CodeWritePlay. Here's the show.
Good evening, fans. Tim Kitzrow here, the voice of NBA Jam, and you're listening to the Game Dev Breakdown Podcast, brought to you by CodeWritePlay.com. Whoa, boom shakalaka.
My mom gave birth in 1985. I was bluer than a Pac-Man ghost, barely alive. In the Cold War, my only blanket was Tetris. I played Rampart with Reagan, rampage the world for breakfast. The laundromat was my sanctuary, the arcade was my church.
Okay, it's Kamil, is that right?
Yep, exactly.
What is your position with Draw Distance?
I'm a producer, actually, so yeah. I'm in charge, planning and other like boring stuff like that. But it's actually very interesting. I decided at some point that it might be an interesting like career path. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing. Absolutely.
How early did you get into that position? Has it always been that way, or did you do something else?
No, I used to be a journalist, and I was a narrative designer / quest designer, and then I started at Draw Distance half a year ago as a producer, and that's what's happening right now, and I'm like still trying to manage my way around all I try to manage the problems and everything that this position entails, right? So I joined them after Serial Cleaner and after they launched this mixer game called House of Horror. So yeah, my main project my main task was to help with the development of Ritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we dig too far into that, where are you guys located exactly?
We're in Krakow in Poland. Very
cool. In terms of industry, who else is over there with you? Do you have any other big developers over there?
In Poland, we have, for example, CD Projekt Red. They made The Witcher, or Techland, the people who made Dying Light. Mm-hmm. We have 11-bit, the people who made This War of Mine and Frostpunk, or, for example, our friends from across the street, the Bluebird team, who made Layers of Fear and Observer. So yeah, Poland is growing pretty strong in terms of video game development, and it's looking like the future is looking very bright for us, actually.
Yeah, those are actually pretty heavy hitters, for sure.
Yeah, it's getting every single year it's getting better and better, right? We have plenty of talented people and amazing studios. Like we can talk about Flying Wild Hog or People Can Fly, located in Warsaw. They're doing amazing jobs for and amazing games, and there are plenty of studios just trying to start their careers in the industry every single year. So there's a lot of stuff happening.
That's very cool. How big is Draw Distance right now?
We are 15 people, I think.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, counting, we have some people in marketing and some people working on business development and things like that. But in terms of the development team, we have somewhere around 12 people or 10 to 12 people.
That's enough people to make your job difficult, right?
Yes, it's not exactly easy, right? But yeah, a lot of problems that you can have in organizations that have 120 people can be translated into organizations that have 12. So you manage a smaller scope. Essentially, the problems tend to be the same. So yeah, sometimes it can be difficult and kind of weird.
Yeah. I can't imagine, because I can barely manage my own personal projects. So the idea of being over other people and helping them get everything they need throughout the day, your job must look completely different every day.
That's exactly what's happening. But I love that. I always love that kind of jobs. But yeah, it's whenever someone asks you, so what do you do? And your answer is like today or this hour? When? Right. What are you actually exactly asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can vary depending on the day, especially in a team like that, right? We're indie, so everybody's pretty much doing whatever they can. So sometimes you have a, for example, like, well, you have a game designer who's making levels for a game, or you have a whatever me, and sometimes I'm implementing dialogues or whatever into the game. So despite being a producer, I can I don't know, like like implement dialogue, write dialogue, correct some things on the levels, or just playtest the game, or do whatever is like actually needed at the moment. So that's amazing. I love that. And some like bigger organization would have to stick to the plan and do exactly what's expected of you. And so like being indie is amazing.
Yeah, and you must be extra valuable to them because you have writing experience and you know what you're doing with words. So
that's not to me to judge. I hope so.
I'm just betting that they value that skill.
Hopefully, we have an amazing writer actually, who's my friend from our journalism days, and I value his input a lot. So my tasks when it comes to ritual, not actually writing, mainly like making sure in terms of like how the story is implemented. So yeah. I needed a break from writing and designing quests after my last job. So
yeah, absolutely. So you've been around for a little while with them, and the Serial Cleaner is still doing pretty well, right? It just went out in a humble monthly bundle, and so you still have a little momentum going there.
Yes, it's pretty amazing that the game is like still selling well, and there's still some initiatives like the humble bundle. I think there are some amazing things that are gonna happen in the future, but I can't talk about them yet. But I think you will be surprised when you hear about that. So I'm gonna give you a tease, but I can't tell anything more about this. But when I heard about like some plans for our future in general as a company, and then I was like, okay, what the hell? That's weird. So yes, Reclaim is doing pretty okay. I know that we will have, I don't know if it happened already, but it's going to probably launch soon on iOS devices.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's going to be available on mobiles. So that's exciting, and I can want to play that game on my phone. But yeah, it's great. It's amazing to see a game that's been made like 2 years ago, I think, still living and breathing. So yeah, that's amazing, and we hope that Ritual is going to be another game that's going to live long and prosper.
Yeah, I love that because I do like Serial Cleaner a lot, and I like when games I like either hit mobile or Nintendo Switch or something like that, because, it can be hard to get through a game that you like, even if you want to, because, we're all grown-ups and our days are busy. But if I've got something on my phone with me, I know not every dev can do it, but if they can, it's really nice.
Yeah, and that's what we decided to do with Ritual. When we started designing the game, we were trying to come up with something that might be kind of easy to port to for example, Nintendo Switch. We are focusing on our PC launch right now, but when you take a look at the game, and I saw you play it, and you can like easily see that the targeting system or the construction of the levels that they last for 3 to 5 minutes is like I think it's going to work for a mobile platform like Switch. So that's something that's good to have in mind whenever you're trying to, whenever you have a smaller game that might be a suitable fit for a platform like that.
It's smart. It requires that clever sort of modular design, nice compact experiences. I think that's a really good fit.
Yeah, well, hopefully, but I don't know when or if we're going to launch on the Switch, but I hope we will. Because I love that platform, and I needed a top-down shooter on it. Like top-down shooter is not only endless, massacre, but something else, something more. So I really hope that we're going to launch on the Switch, but it probably depends on how well the game does on PC. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think a lot of people's strategy is to go PC, see how it does, then decide whether you want to either expand on the content or move to other platforms. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but also is that, development on PCs and adding things to the game is way easier on PC, right?
Yeah.
You have this, I know that players tend to hate it because PC developers earned it, but they tend to hate unfinished games released on true early access. But when you use properly, this whole idea of open development is something exciting, really, and we can't wait to like properly support this, to give people, for example, new levels or new weapons to test and to listen to their feedback. And it's something that you still pretty much can't do easily on consoles, right? So it's not. I never look at that as let's launch on PC and see whatever, and then just port it to consoles. But it's an opportunity, right? It's something that you can do. You can do, especially being a small company that doesn't need to doesn't need to plan like 5 years ahead in terms of marketing budgets, whatever, something like that.
Yeah, and it seems like you guys are doing it exactly right. I've looked at your early access page for Ritual, and it lays out very clearly where the game's at, what you plan to do with it, and I think players will respond positively to that, because I think what they want to see is someone who created a whole game, and then they might be open to like getting even more content instead of the feeling like you made a game and then shot parts of it off to release later. Like I don't think you're giving away that vibe at all. So I think you're going to be in good shape.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. And I'm really looking forward to talking to the community and listening to them, working with them. But at the same time, that's an interesting question here about the authorship of the game. Essentially, like what do you want to make versus what people expect of you? So, for example, they can say that okay, we hate that part, but then you say that okay, guys, you can hate that, but it's a critical part of the experience that we have in mind. And I'm kind of afraid of this conflict that might happen at some point in the future, because giving too much power to the community is going to be, giving them an idea that we're going to do everything they say, but at the same time, how to communicate that, guys, we need your help, we value your feedback, but in the end, we have a certain experience in mind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely watched games go through this before. I don't know if you're familiar with Killing Floor, but their community had big issues with that, and really it was because there were big developers and big publishers behind it, and certain community members felt like it has to go this direction and things have to be done in this order. But I think if you guys are truly listening to them and communicating well, what you're doing, hopefully it won't be too bad. I understand that concern. For example, it was kind of amazing for me this weekend when we gave people on our Discord server this demo that I sent you. They started giving their feedback about the weapons that we have, for example. And some people said, okay, we hate the revolver. It's like the basic pistol feels underpowered and boring. And at the same time, some other people said, okay, I love the revolver, and it's like just please don't nerf it or whatever. And I saw that there's plenty of opinions, and there are going to be more of them. And you kind of realize that this is exactly what you wanted to. At some point in the game, when we made a choice, while designing the game, when we made a choice that we want to give players options, then just exactly what we should have expected, right? That some people will love automatic weapons, and some people prefer just a normal crossbow or something like that. And then you realize that this is exactly what's happening, and that someone might never touch a weapon that you love, but they will suddenly and you realize they love a game that you literally never use. Like this is already happening, and it's amazing. And I kind of wonder what can we do in the future to embrace that and to make sure that everything is communicated properly in order to make sure that all those voices are heard and nobody's feeling left out of the discussion or not taken into account, their opinion not taken into account. So that's a really interesting thing for us right now, how to do that. And we want to do it well, but if you were listening to things that are happening in video game industry right now, you know that it's pretty much a minefield, right? Yeah. It's sometimes very intimidating to do anything. So yeah. Yeah, I guess I should set a couple of things out for our listeners in case they haven't been able to see some of my social media posts. Basically, Ritual is a top-down shooter. You could think of it like a twin-stick shooter. It's going to be on PC. It's sort of, I called it like a twin-stick shooter set in the Diablo universe. Like it had that kind of vibe to it. And I love that. And it's actually really different from the last project. You guys had something between Serial Cleaner and this. But the people who know you for Serial Cleaner, they're getting something new. So they should set that expectation.
Yes. We have Serial Cleaner, which is like the way I think about this game is that it's Hotline Miami in reverse. Yeah, because instead of killing people, you clean after the mess that somebody made already.
Yeah.
And then we had another weird project. It was House of Horror, a game for Microsoft Mixer. It's like Twitch, but people can make decisions, like they can vote on things that are happening inside the game. So we made a game for that platform, and it's weird and it's amazing. And after that, after making this a game for a streaming platform that allows people to make decisions, we translated that experience into a board game. And we by the time your listeners are listening to this, and we have already launched a Kickstarter for that. And then after all this, we've had Ritual, right? And Ritual is a top-down shooter that's heavy on the action. And I love the description about the description of a top-down shooter happening in the Diablo universe. I love that. So that's the projects that we do are like, there's a lot of weird stuff happening here, and I love that. I really love that we can do pretty much anything we want. That's great about being indie. So Ritual is a weird one for us because it's the first time that this company is working on a game that features combat. So designing that was really something that was kind of hard and exciting at the same time.
And it feels really good. Like I don't know how to describe it, but when I picked it up and used my controller plugged into my PC, like it felt exactly the way I should have expected it to feel. Like I was very impressed by it just worked. And that was nice.
Thank you very much. It's all about that screen shake, you know.
The screen shake was hilarious and awesome. Yeah, I really liked it.
Is the screen shake and the controller vibration. So that's it.
Yeah, it pulled me in right away.
What I personally love about this project, it's kind of a funny story because this game was in development for quite a while. And it was a different game initially. It was focused on crafting and survival, and shooting was actually very. It was just a mechanic that was there for a certain reason, but it was not utilized to its potential. And at some point, when I was kind of talking with Draw Distance to join them, I was playing this demo, and I said, okay, why is this game not based around shooting? It feels amazing because what they made is that what they already had in the game, this amazing mechanic of aiming, this aim support in a top-down game. So it immediately set it apart from other top-down shooters that I was playing. When you have the right stick, the twin-stick shooters, when you have a right stick and you have to aim in any direction. You can aim in any direction you want, and then you just shoot, right? Hoping that you're going to shoot something. And what happens in Ritual is that you pull the aim button and it instantly targets a nearby enemy, and then you are just not wasting any shots. And this is present in this crafting survival game that they were making. And I believe that this game never really clicked with the audience. They showed it off at PAX or Digital Dragons in Poland, and people kind of liked it, but they were not sure about it. There was something plenty of things not working. So around November last year, we decided to overhaul everything and just change the game based it around the shooting mechanic. And so building it up from that, it kind of clicked instantly. It kind of clicked, and it was just amazing to see the game grow every single day in order to support this one mechanic, this one single system that was so great. And I think it's great, but hopefully other people think so too. And judging by your reaction when you say that, it it just worked. I think that's exactly the thing that we were hoping to achieve.
Yeah, and the overhaul you mentioned was something I meant to ask you about, because I saw in the early access description that you said it had been through a couple of big changes, and so I was curious about where something starts and ends up here, because whatever it did, it worked out pretty well.
It's like I said, it was a very interesting game. It was an interesting concept in which you had some phases of. It was a game about protecting the witch, right? So it stayed. And you had to protect her, and in order to do that, you had to create barricades in one phase of the game, craft things and, collect resources. And then at some point the game was shifting into this combat-based game. So you had to protect the witch by utilizing all the barricades you made, using resources that you crafted, and, just like hitting them with a melee attack, and sometimes shoot them if you had enough crafting components to create bullets. So it was a huge game, and it could have worked, but it would require a lot of time to actually get finished and released in a version that's polished enough to actually stand out among the crowd. We decided to create a very simple prototype of the game that's based around protecting the witch by shooting with this amazing mechanic that they already had, this aiming system. Yeah, and it just worked. It just clicked, and we were one of the earliest prototypes was just a witch in the middle of a completely blank prototype, and there were some walls, and there were hundreds of enemies, not hundreds, but dozens of enemies attacking you from every single side. So we were like, okay, what can we do about that? Okay, let's add another weapon. Let's add a shotgun. Let's add a crossbow. Let's add grenades. Let's add dash instead of dodge roll, whatever. Let's dash. And then we're like, okay, this makes sense, and this is fun. So yeah, then we just started coming up with new skills, new weapons, new level layouts. Because in January still we had only levels based around running around one a hut in the middle of the screen. But now then we decided to come up with new mechanics in order to make something interesting with the levels. And then we said, okay, what can we do about that? And we started creating plenty of different mechanics. So, for example, we're going to have a level in which the witch teleports from one point to another. We decided to have something different. So we just said, okay, so let's get rid of the witch and make a level in which that's English. It's weird. Sorry.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, let's create a level in which your only goal is to protect yourself. And so suddenly you had, okay, so everyone's attacking me now. What can we do about that? And then we said, okay, let's make you faster. So let's add, different types of terrain, and we can do ice, and then you're going to be faster. And we're like, yeah, that's making perfect sense. And everything suddenly started clicking, and we have plenty of different mechanics. Some of them are we didn't have time to polish them enough to include them in our early access release, but so we have, for example, levels happening on ice or snow, but then in one of our patches we're gonna add, for example, levels happening in the swamp. So you'd have to dash properly or find paths not to get slowed down. And when you get slowed down, what happens is that enemies are still faster than you, so it's suddenly a completely different game. So the moment we had that foundation of the game, it just suddenly started becoming very easy, and let's add that, and add that, and the games just started getting better and better every single day. So it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and I like that sort of building iteration process you describe, and I think that'll resonate with a lot of the listeners who are game developers. I wonder, how do you guys decide at what point you go to early access? Because with this, it seems like you could very easily just continue with step by step by step. Is it mostly driven by your desire for feedback at this point?
At this point, yes, because we could include more weapons, more spells, more levels, but we are playing this in our studio. Sometimes we have a playtester or somebody giving us feedback, but I just kind of realized at some point that you can like the feedback you get from game developers is very valuable, but it's not always something they're looking for.
Right.
Same is happening with people who are you're like just taking off the street and asking, hey, can you play our game? They just don't care, right? So they're going to be like looking at all the things that you don't want them to look at. But at the same time, when you like what I realized right now after the weekend when we let people play the game, people who are interested in the game, they are giving us extremely valuable feedback because they're invested in the game. So right now, at some point, we had to say, okay, this is the moment when we can release a semi-finished, we can hit alpha. We can have every single feature implemented, and we need people to just say, to give us feedback. Because we can go in plenty of different directions, and we need our people to help us with that, to decide what is critical, what they need to see. Do they need more challenges? Do they need, for example, should we prioritize creating an endless mode or maybe new custom-based levels? Because we are not using any generation. Everything is handcrafted. So should we focus on generating an endless mode, or should we just make new levels, or is this boring for people? So should we make more new mechanics, and so on and so on. So right now for this early access release, we decided to go with 18 levels, and they're kind of different. Some of them are pretty similar to each other. Some of them are completely different. Some of them are one shots of something really exotic. So we need to hear people saying, okay, this is great. I love that. I hated that. And then we will know, okay, so we're going to push our resources to that and that and that. And then we're going to just say, okay, this is not happening. This is not interesting to anyone. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's really important at some point.
And before early access, how were you attracting people to your Discord server?
Oh man, we are. That's a painful question.
Sorry.
We're a small team, and everyone is everyone's working on several things at once, right? So, and for example, our marketing people are at the same time at the same time, we're working on Ritual, and it's launching on early access. It's this week, and 2 days before that, we're launching a Kickstarter campaign for our board game, right? Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of stuff going on, and I don't think we actually had a plan. we were just going with the flow. We said, okay, we need to set up the Discord server. We need to talk to people. So okay, let's do that. Okay, well, what else can we do? Yeah, let's do this and that and that. So I don't think we had a plan. I don't know if I can give any tips about anything related to our community building or managing, because I don't know.
I understand, because I hear from developers all the time who say either they're having trouble getting traction in that area, or it just happened to work out. And I guess in a way, that's kind of what you want. You want people to naturally, organically have this interest in what you're doing and come find you. If there was just a trick where you hit a button and everyone trickled in, it probably wouldn't be very valuable.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And also, I'm very I can't say that our Discord server is a huge success, right? We don't have 7,000 people sitting there or writing to us, but that's okay. That's really good, because the scope of this Discord server is pretty manageable. And I can still we asked people to introduce themselves, and there are a couple of people who did that, and I remembered them, and that's what I want to do. I want to remember those people and know something about them. And because the server is getting traction, it's slowly getting more there's more and more people joining over time. And it's great that it's not happening in huge waves, but it's just happening organically. So and also so it's good. I kind of like that, because we're not drowning in feedback right now. We can react to that. We can answer to every single question that people have, and we can actually talk to them. So this is amazing. And I kind of hope that there's going to be a lot more people joining us, a lot more people talking to us. But I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, right? Yeah. So I don't have any expectations. I just hope that we're going to be that they're going to see that we are that it's something that is worth investing your time into, because we really listen to those people, and we're try to answer everything that they say. Also, one of the hard parts about that was that was actually getting any media attention. That was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every single indie developer is going to tell you the same thing, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, getting any media outlets to write about you is just, that's a headache.
It's interesting because in the beginning, you're kind of lucky if you can get that small group of very focused individuals who you can kind of get into their heads a little bit. You can kind of sort of go through what they're thinking and really take their feedback to heart. Obviously, at some point, you have to go for big numbers, but along the way, it seems really valuable to have that relationship with a smaller community of people, and I'm hoping that works in your favor, really.
I hope so, but at the same time, I know that it's valuable, and I've seen it work in my life because, I used to work for a print magazine and their website that's quite popular in Poland, and it was based around those big personalities that you were some people you knew the people that wrote those reviews or anything. So you were sometimes you were buying this magazine for them to read the reviews, even if you disagreed. And because of this personality-based system that they had, that's pretty much what happened in every single print magazine in Poland, I think, that was writing about video games, now that I think of it. But anyway, what happens is that even today, some people who joined our server, our Discord server, were people who were reading my reviews 4 years ago, something like that, or so they remembered that, and they remember that some of them were writing to me on Facebook or on Twitter, and I always reply. I always reply to people, and I try to talk to them. So this relationship that you have with people is extremely valuable, and I was always trying to find time to reply to them because it kind of matters a lot you can see that it matters a lot to people who are just starting with journalism or game development, or sometimes you just wrote something that really struck a chord with them and they want to say thank you, and then you say, man, you're the one who should get thanks because you're reading that, and if I could help you in any way, that's amazing, man. I feel great right now. Thank you for telling me this, because all you hear normally is this hateful feedback. Yeah, that's what's happening on the internet. So whenever someone takes time to actually reply to you and say thank you, man, it feels amazing, right? Yeah. So having this relationship and thanking people and being I'm honestly excited whenever I see people being excited by things that I do. Right now we're making a game, and whenever people whenever they devote their time to talk to us about this game, that's just amazing. And it's extremely valuable. And I love the fact that we are suddenly I work in an indie company and I can actually write whatever I want on our Discord server. That's not so obvious when you work in a AAA industry. And suddenly this happened in my life, and I'm super excited that I can do that.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, if you like something, you have to reach out and tell that person, because nobody hesitates to say something bad. People say something bad all the time. So if you like it, you have to speak up and let that person know, or they may just stop doing it thinking that no one likes it,
Yes, exactly. That's it. Whenever, when you find something that's great, just find the creator and tell them that it's amazing. Yeah. Because we take it for granted, right? That somebody made something that we like. So yeah, they probably heard it 1,000 times. Well, why should I even bother to tell them that it's great? Yeah. And then at some point you just write to somebody and they say, "Wow, you're the first person that ever told me that," and then you're very sad.
Yeah, it's a little bit sad, but it's also nice.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of all of this community stuff and marketing and everything, tell me what happened with the name change from iFun for All to Draw Distance.
Come on, do I seriously need to explain that?
Well,
we all probably agree that iFun for All is probably the worst name you've ever heard.
Oh, not the worst. No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, give me something worse.
There's always stuff like people try to make names like Kick-Ass Games or just silly things, or they'll go the other way and they'll be like self-deprecating names like Not That Great Games or something like that. So fun for all sounds good.
It's like what you mentioned is it's just not funny, but that's the only crime that they're making. But fun for all with the small I, like in iPhones and 4, like it's 1993 or whatever.
It may be a tad outdated, yes.
It was just wrong, but it's just my opinion, man. But yeah, this company is actually really old. This company has been in business for like 10 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so this name was the profile of it. I think was mostly on. They were trying to develop some mobile titles, and this name was kind of okay for that. Yeah. But after Serial Cleaner, it kind of was weird, right? It started to become weird, and then we had some like discussions about Ritual, for example, and then you have a game that's about shooting demons, and it's called Ritual Crown of Horse, and then you see the developer name and it's called I Fun for All That. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. We are not. So it's a new. I don't know how it works exactly because it's related to stock market or whatever. But it's not exactly a new name of the studio. It's going to become a new name of the studio, but it's just like something that we use right now, and I can't explain that because I'm too stupid to understand all those stock market weird stuff.
No, you're right. I was looking at this the wrong way. I was looking at it as, wow, they had all of this momentum with Serial Cleaner, and then they changed their name, which is surprising. But the right way to look at that was, you're about to start making a game about shooting demons in hell, basically. And it can't be called I Fun for All anymore.
Right. Right, that's it. Even though it is fun, right? It's just not. It's just wrong to call this, like, to release a game like that under that studio name.
It almost sounds like young adults, Hey, kids.
Yep. Yeah. So when we were like we were obviously we're working on Ritual, but we have other plans for the future. So yeah, that name wasn't gonna cut it. It was just not working. So that's I'm excited that this finally happened. It's for a couple of months. For a couple of months, I was actually jobless. I didn't have anything written in my on my LinkedIn account because I just didn't want to put iFun for All in there.
I understand. I was kind of looking at connections between Serial Cleaner and Ritual, and it seems like there's a very cinematic quality to your games. And you guys must have some film fans, right?
I think that our lead designer on Ritual is after he has a college degree in film.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, that's probably it is. And also our writer is just he's such a geek, man, about movies. Whenever you talk to him and you ask, "Hey man, have you seen that?" And he's like, "Yeah, obviously," or something like that. And then he's just talking to you about some weird Japanese 4-hour-long experimental movie about something, and then your brain just shuts down after 2 minutes of listening about that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what happens. And he's like, yeah, Jodorowsky's movies about cowboys are very interesting and then you're just, yeah, man, just stop, please.
Right.
But honestly, I really I really appreciate that. We have some amazing people in this company who have huge brains, and they watch everything that's possible, and it's just amazing to sometimes hear their discussions. Especially whenever the writer and designer are just talking about something, it's just mind blowing.
And if anybody needs to see what I'm talking about, start by playing Serial Cleaner and sort of get that story in your mind, and then just watch the trailer for Ritual, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's very cinematic. It's in your face. Somebody's a Tarantino fan and watches cowboy movies and stuff. It's got all those cool qualities, and it just takes you into that world. And it's actually a really good thing. We actually wanted this trailer for Ritual to be even more, how to say that. It was a discussion between me, our writer, and Kuba from Radical Studio, who made the trailer, and we were just saying,
man, just push it further. Just make it like bigger. We want this Cartoon Network feeling from the 90s. Make it campy. Make it violent. Make it like do something like extremely like make it wrong. And then he was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing that, boss. I'm not doing this. It's my reputation on the line. Just stop." So it was just we were constantly pushing back and forth on this. We wanted more Cartoon Network mixed with gothic punk.
There's kind of a Rob Zombie vibe.
It is, but we want to go more into more white zombie, unpolished direction, and he kind of polished that into Rob Zombie, and we're like, yeah, it's kind of cool, but it could have been so much better. But then we are probably wrong, and he's probably right. So,
well, that's the balance you have to strike, yeah.
Exactly.
So it seems like the feedback for the Ritual demo has been awesome. Like, what are other people saying about it other than myself?
There's like the main thing is that people really seem to like the game. They like doing challenges. They like the way that our shooting feels. They like skills. Obviously, they need some work on our side. For example, we are like today we are just implementing sounds to some of them. But overall, people like how the game feels, and they want to play more of it. And they want to see our like new features like gear customization or unlocking new spells and things like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the only two main criticisms that we've heard so far is something about this is that for some people this aiming system is not working properly. They can't get it.
Oh, okay.
And mostly this happens whenever they are playing on with keyboard and mouse. So we know that we need to do a lot of work on that to make it feel great. So this is one piece of criticism, and the second one is about is that some of those levels they're afraid that they might be repeatable, that it's doing the same thing over and over again. So these are like two things that we've heard that are negative, but overall the feedback is really positive and just amazing for us.
Yeah, and I think people have to sort of imagine what it's going to be like when there's a lot more to it between rounds. You're upgrading things, finding different, I don't know what's planned, but I'm sure there's going to be more to do and more ways to sort of customize your experience as you go. Yeah,
right now I've seen it's going to be in the early access release. It wasn't in the demo, but I've seen that even something like unlocking a new cape for the cowboy.
I would love that, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. We have capes, hoods, amulets, and rings, and you unlock them on levels, and then you just equip whatever you want. So, for example, we have a cape that in our current build is just making you load pretty much instantly, but then you get killed in 2 hits. So it's like this buff and a debuff that you have, and it's a total game changer for me because suddenly I can just spray bullets and I'm just getting careless and then I die. So we have a lot of that. We have a lot of things that modify your game, and then at some point in the future we will be thinking about I can promise anything, right? But we were thinking about combo systems or some scoring options or other things like that. So we have the core gameplay loop and everything implemented right now, and the rest is just building on that. And in order to build everything else properly, we need to hear whether people like the foundation, right?
And speaking of variation, what do you mean in the early access description when you mention the real-world data-driven challenge mode? Is there anything you can tell me about that?
What's happening is that we are working on technology that allows us to collect certain data from our real world, right? Like everything that's happening. So let's say the weather that's currently the current weather anywhere in the world, or your time zones or whatever, and then tweak certain features accordingly. So for Ritual, we're planning to do a special mode that's based on astrology, let's say, about the phases of the moon and stars, planets, and they will generate certain challenges. For example, they will pick levels from the game and put them in a certain order, and then you will not be able to get back to hub or change weapons in the meantime, but you will have to play them in this order that was picked for you. So, for example, you'll have to play through 3 maps that are each 5 minutes long, and so you'll have to survive for 15 minutes. And then you will have also some statistics and other things like that tweaked. So I don't have an exact example right now, but imagine something like, so we have 2 or 4 maps, and you have to survive on them, and now enemies are like 2 times harder to kill.
Oh, cool.
Or your reload speed is like 50% what you had. So we're going to have something like that. That's this real-world data-driven challenge mode.
Cool. Yeah, I think people will be into that. I like that idea.
I hope so. It's going to be like, it is. I'm excited about features like that because I'm playing this game for like a half a year now, and it's like tough for me to have any challenge in it because I just know it. So excited for things like that. Whenever we will have just make me like scream in pain whenever I'm playing. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Because it's going to be random to some extent and randomized to some extent, and I just can't wait to just get my ass kicked by this game again, like it was happening during the first month of development.
Yeah. So, what do you think the future holds in terms of? If you could pick any project for the studio to do next, what would you pick? Obviously, this is just a fun thing, but what would you like to see the studio do more of in the future?
Oh, I can tell you like only my personal opinion.
Right.
It's just me.
This isn't like game revealed or anything like that, just for fun, yeah.
No, it's just for fun. So what I would like to do in the future. Oh God, it's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because some of the projects that we were talking about may be made. So I'm trying to think of something that's probably not going to be made.
Well, this sounds good though. This sounds like the kind of stuff you want to do is maybe in the works or maybe in the future.
Yes, it's great. It's great. So, it's one of the reasons that I'm so excited about this company is that you can go and talk to the CEO and say, "Dude, here's an idea." And he's like, "Oh man, that's actually kind of good." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
But something weird that I would like to make. I like to make an idle game.
Oh yeah. Like
a cookie clicker type of thing.
Yeah.
But that's something stupid, probably.
If those have a sense of humor, I like those.
Yeah, they're kind of good. Like our programmer is playing something on his phone. He's constantly clicking this one. And it looks kind of fun. I always like this type of games. It's something that we will probably never make. So I'd kind of like to do that.
Yeah, those make me laugh more often than most other games.
Yeah, but also I have a dream of making a proper old school FPS. But it's by the time we could maybe even try, then the market is going to be so saturated with that's probably will never make sense.
It's harder to stand out. Yeah. Yeah,
you have all those revivals right now after Dusk was pretty much a success, and now you have Realm Moreau making a new game and so on and so on. Like you had Blood, I think, remake right now, right?
Yeah, he's in the middle of something, yeah.
Yeah, Realm Moreau is doing his own game, and then we have other releases like that. So by the time we could even try to start making that, it probably will not make any sense to even try. Yeah. but that just is. Oh, I know. I would love to do a shoot 'em up, an old school arcade shoot 'em up, like
awesome.
Dodonpachi or Ketsui or other Japanese classics from Cave.
I love that
Bullet
stuff.
Hell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Well, I hope you get to work on that because those are you can't make enough of those games. I'll play every one. That's fine with me.
I'll make sure to send you a code if we ever get to doing that.
That'll be something to look forward to. So, so being a producer, that's pretty great. I mean, do you see yourself staying in that capacity or moving to do anything else, or what do you think the future holds for you?
It's really a hard question because I used to work as a narrative designer, quest designer, so I know how it is to work as a specialized employee, right? Mm-hmm. But then I realized that there are a lot of things that I would like to to do beyond that, and being a producer in a small company gives you a certain sense of ownership, and they have a lot of responsibility on you. So you suddenly have to decide which feature will make the cut and which will be cut. And so this is exciting. It's actually really exciting to be able to make those decisions, to have this responsibility on you and be unable to say, oh, it's just not my job to do that. So this is like extremely great, and I love this feeling. So as long as it's possible to do that, to have this kind of sense of ownership, then I would love to stay a producer. But every single company has a different idea of who a producer is, right?
Right.
So it works for us right now, but we're going to see how it's going to work in the future. But I would certainly love to do anything that features like that has a lot of responsibility written into the title. So management for sure. This is great, because then you have no way of saying I'm not doing that, or no way of saying I just don't care. I hate this attitude, right? Or like I hate any blocks in decision making. So your job as a producer is to take, for example, is just to make sure that there are no roadblocks during production. And so lack of decisions is just one of those huge roadblocks that happen in pretty much every single company I've ever heard of. So one of the things that I love, I can do because of having this responsibility and this sense of ownership, is that I can actually make a decision. So this is amazing. And this is something that will be hard to let go of. So yeah, I would love to stay in this kind of role. And I think it's going to be really hard to adjust to something different, because I was just my ass would be just so frustrated.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for someone else to make a decision. I'm just banging my head on the wall in the meantime. That's just sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
when you were reading, I'm sure you did, about Anthem and what happened during development of this game in BioWare, right?
Yeah.
It's not a story about crunch. It's a story about lack of decisions. So if they had people who are able to make decisions yes, obviously we want to have flying in this game, then this could have probably been a much different game, right? So being able to say, yeah, we need that. This is one of the core things about this experience is just great. It's just, you can do that, and you know that you can fail and that this decision can be wrong, but at least the decision has been made. And so everything went one step further, even though it could have been a wrong way.
I like that. I'm glad I asked you this, because I like to hear people in your capacity say, I have some ability to prevent crunch and prevent a bad workplace for people. And, maybe the decision's right, maybe it's wrong, like you said, but you've made a decision and you've given those people something to work on and hopefully manage the project correctly. Hopefully.
There's a lot of things that if you never had a formal training, I never had one, in project management, then there are a lot of things that you don't, that can surprise you, right? Because at some point you realize that your management style is probably not going to be suitable for certain types of people. Mm-hmm. So you need to adjust to that. Then there's this really tough thing about managing people's morale versus project timelines, right? So you have this amount of time, but someone says, hey, I have this amazing idea. And you hear that it really is an amazing idea, but then you just look at your calendar and say, oh man, there's no way we're going to, it's impossible to make that. Right. And you have to say no. And then, this person loses a bit of, hope that this project is going to be as good as they hope it's going to be. So there's a lot of that, a lot of soft skills and soft ego management, but on those on this higher level, when we're talking about things like crunch, for example, we were overhauling this whole game and changing it since November, and there was pretty much no crunch at all in this project. So the ability to adjust course on the fly is just it's just amazing, because you can see that there's no time wasted actually. So there's no time wasted, and you can have this idea on how we are going to proceed in the future, right? So that's it. You're going to have a lot of power and influence over how this project is going to be structured in the end. But at the same time, that's Spider-Man. This is what I should have said. You have great power and also great responsibility, because you can steer the project in whatever way you want to, essentially, as long as what your boss wants. And you can steer the project in a certain way, but at the same time, you need to look at the people who are making it. And some decisions are going to be like, they're going to hate some decisions, right? Because their idea of the project is different. And when you have a huge company that employs like 300 or 500 people, then those voices, they just disappear, because like you have all those structures, and someone is a junior, someone's a regular, someone's senior, someone's a lead. There are plenty of departments, and nobody essentially cares, because there are people on top who will have the last word. But when you have a company of like 10, 12, 15 people, then every single complaint is heard, right? You have to decide whether you're gonna like talk with those people and say, no, we're cutting this. It's impossible to make that right now, and risk the fact that they're going to be pissed off, or just say, okay, we're going to cut another part that you feel might be really important to the game, and implement whatever they wanted in order to balance this morale. It is hard.
It sounds hard, but it sounds like you have your head on straight about it. You have an excellent strategy about you, and I think that's probably going to serve you well.
Hopefully. I hope I'm not going to come to work one day and see a guillotine there in the middle of our office.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't come to that, yeah.
Hopefully, it's stressful. It's hard making a game in like a couple of months. Like making a game in a couple of months or even a year is hard. Yeah. So there's a lot of stress included, and I hope that we just it's gonna. Even though sometimes we might disagree, that it's gonna all work out in the end. Just when we see people playing the game, because it makes you so excited whenever you see someone like actually playing the game and sharing their opinion. It's just so great. So I hope everything's gonna like chill, like calm down after release, because those periods leading up to release are always the hardest.
Absolutely. And speaking of people interested in playing the game, where can people find what you guys are doing? Who should they follow online? Where should they look?
Oh, well, they should definitely follow us on Twitter, Draw Distance Dev, on Facebook, and feel free to join our Discord and just chat with us. So we are not starting new social media channels for our games. For example, you won't find an official channel for Ritual. We're trying to boost, to get people to like our studio, not essentially a game. Mm-hmm. So follow our like Twitter and Facebook, our Instagram, if you want to see pictures of dogs and cats, probably. Because that's what game development is about, right?
Yeah. And
feel free to join our Discord, because that's where we are at. And I'm sorry for your rumbling.
No. When will Ritual be available on early access? Do we know?
17th of May. So this week, Friday. Since your episode is probably going to go next week, then it should be already available.
I've got news for you. Somebody asked me to hold a show back, so I'm probably going to put this out today or tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so maybe that'll be helpful.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm so terrified of hearing myself, man.
Oh no, I don't think you should be at all. And people, please get in touch and let Kamil know he did a good job here.
Oh my God. That's it.
Believe me, this has been a good show. People are going to enjoy hearing about this.
Oh my God, I hope so. I really hope so, because like I said, it's the first time I've been recording anything in English.
You guys should do a podcast, and that'd be a great way to reach out to the community about the game.
A podcast, yeah. If only there's a day had like 48 hours inside it, not 24. Then that would have been like great.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, we would love to do a podcast. We would love to do like a Twitch stream of our game. Or we'd love to do everything that we possibly can, because it's just so much fun. Yeah. But time.
Well, speaking of time, I'll let you get back to it. I really appreciate you taking time to talk to me today.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I hope your succulents. That's how do you pronounce this in English?
Yeah.
Succulents. I hope your succulents are great, man. And I'm really sorry to anyone who's like living with you, because it's not gonna end with those two. You know that.
My wife's excited right now. I'm raising some plants. I'll put the plants in the show notes for listeners. And you very kindly encouraged me to keep going. But yes, I see what you mean. It'll be an obsession soon.
It's going to be an obsession. We're gonna like have like 40 by the end of next year. And then you're gonna have a special Instagram account just for them. So
yeah, I'll start an account for it. That'll be great.
So thank you for inviting me. And yeah, let's stay in touch, and I will make sure. Let's stay in touch. And I wish everything best to your listeners.
They'll appreciate it, and they'll love to hear this. This will be great. So thank you again.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to our guests. If you enjoy the Game Dev Breakdown podcast, you can subscribe at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. If you want to go further, you can check out what we're doing at patreon.com/CodeWritePlay. Look at some opportunities that our listeners get that nobody else gets. Follow the fun at CodeWritePlay.com, where we post show notes and more fun stuff, and we're always working on new shows to bring you, new articles, new site content, you name it. So keep an eye out. We'll talk to you soon.
Mario and Ken were throwing the sign peace. America was playing real life Zaxxon in the Middle East. But no matter how much my neighbors said the world we're in, I was determined to play Missile Command till the end. I wasn't a normal child who played with yak backs and crayons, cause I liked how that track ball felt like the world in my hands. Each star was a space invader, the sky was Galaga. Every day was a boss fight, the soundtrack was Metallica. This was back when the only snakes in my life were on Cupid and video games.